that what is happening in the Congo is crimes against humanity. So they have to do something about it. The guy with the yellow shirt is a friend of mine. So for anybody that's my friend, I make them work. If you're my friend, you have to break the silence. So he's an artist. I said, well, if you're an artist, use your talent to do something about the Congo. So he brought the youth in Greensboro together in an art workshop, pulled up the website, told them a few facts about the Congo, and told them to express themselves through art. And brought these young people there. And I do believe that it makes an impact because these young people are the leaders of tomorrow. 20 years from now, they will be elected officials. Why am I even saying 20 years from now? Because I just came from Northern Iowa. There is a 24-year-old congresswoman. I was shocked. Very young. She's trying to make April the genocide month in Iowa. But if a 24-year-old can run for office and be a congresswoman, I know some of you can do the same. But if you don't have the right information about the situation in the Congo, you will not be able to help well. So it's good to really reach to the youth, especially to college students, so you know the challenge that we face, and you know how to best help. Student at Champlain College, and of course, you have organized marathons in the city. I see the articles that was published in the city before, in Ann Arbor, AA. I think that's how you call it too. But I wanted to show you these things to show that there are many people around the world addressing it. You may not remember everything I shared with you today. It is too much to share. Someone who just heard about the cause, wait a minute, I just heard the killing, I want to find out how to write a check. And this guy's talking about it, he said, oh, no problem, it's going to take a while. Wow. We welcome checks, but I don't believe that's going to be what's going to end the conflict. You know, I usually say, Congo doesn't need charity, Congo needs justice. And what does justice look like? You know, if you know that Congo has the agricultural capacity to feed the whole entire world until 2050, we should ask ourselves, how come Congolese are dying of starvation? If you know that every mineral known to man is in the Congo, how come Congo is not a powerful nation? You know, and find out, okay, so this is not right. What do we do? Then it's start from ourselves and start looking at our way of life. You know, what do I have? Do I have 2 cell phones, 5 TVs, 6 cars, a microwave? You know, even a pacemaker. I mean, I don't know if you knew that pacemaker have content. I mean, the chimney has a piece of Congo in his heart. But looking at all these blessings that we have from the Congo, the people on the ground are not benefiting from it. What can you do? I shared some concrete action that you can do. And I hope you can remember some of them. But the basic way to remember it is, whatever you do, do it for the Congo. You're a singer, sing a song about the Congo. You're a poet, write a poem about the Congo. You're a journalist, cover the Congo. You're a teacher, teaching classes about the Congo. You're a receptionist, well, take everybody on a Friday in the bowling night. After you guys are doing the bowling things, give them some fat shit about the Congo. Maybe fundraise during the bowling night. If you're a hairstylist, well, dedicate one day when people come to your shop to learn about the Congo. Fact sheet again. Can you go in your neighborhood and print out a fact sheet and put it in every mailbox? Yes, you can. Can you call Obama 202-456-1111 on a daily basis and ask him, what are you going to do about the Congo? Are you supporting the UN mapping report? Are you going to get the president of the school to pass a resolution in support of the people of the Congo? Who is speaking for commencement this year? Are they going to speak about the situation in the Congo? Well, you have a Division 1 school, right? Football team. Can they give 1 minute of silence before the game? There is a way to find that out. Some cities have gotten their mayors to pass a resolution on the Congo. Some schools have gotten their presidents and chancellors to pass a resolution about the Congo. Many people have done some ingenious things to really support the Congo. In Northern Iowa, I was there 3 days ago. This student really moved me. I arrived on the campus. I'm walking around the campus, and they took chalks and wrote messages about the Congo, like a few blocks away. So I walked and said, wait a minute, why are they Congo all over the campus? They had a text messaging campaign to get people to the events. They built this cell phone made out of wood, and they put message about the Congo on it. I mean, they had all these things. But I spoke to them just in that way. I said, I can share with you what other people are doing and ideas, but it has to come from yourself. And see, what can you do at your personal, wherever you are, what can you do to speak about the Congo? Because I know, 20 years from now, your children will ask you, Mom, Dad, when you heard that there were 6 million people dying in the Congo, what did you do? This is the same thing I asked my parents. When they were in the independence movement in the 1960s, were you with Patrice Lumumba and the others? Or were we on the side of the people who didn't believe it could be done? So what side of history will we choose? That yes, we can change it. I will end my presentation with an invitation. How many of us are from Congo? Nobody's from Congo? Oh, I'm the only one. How many of us are Africans? Why is everybody lying over there? I want to tell you why I'm saying that. Birth of civilization is Africa. So I thought that everybody in this room is African. And I see us, right, as a human family. That I want to invite you in my country. Mark this date. July 13th, 2031. Do you know what it is? It's my 50th birthday. So I'm inviting you in the Congo on July 13th, 2031. What will happen that day? Well, I love rice. I already found who's going to make the cake. Her name is Brooke. Well, we still have other people who can make some nice things. We may be eating what? Malangwa. What is malangwa? Malangwa is a fish from the Congo River. So I'm going to throw another fact for you. Every year, 1.2 billion tons of fish die in the Congo River. Do you know why? They die of old age. Nobody's fishing that. So we could use those fish, to feed the whole world, but nobody has. So we'll probably have the malangwa on my birthday, so that you will see that, oh my God, I never ate fish before. Because if you never had malangwa, you never had fish. There will be plantains. There will be Congolese music. That's what you never hear about. Congo has one of the best music on the African continent. The culture, the people, the 200 people, ethnic groups that exist within the Congo, that show really a mosaic. Like in the United States, where you have with the people, it's people from all walks of life. That's the Congo. But all of that, I hope that then you will remember the guy with the accent that made you sit down for an hour, telling you that he believed there will be change because you took action. Thank you. Yes. Feel free to ask the question. I'm definitely not a teacher. I'm a student. And I would love to be, I stopped playing the video. I didn't even realize that. But I love seeing how I have ideas of how I believe it can work. But I also want to hear some ideas from you. What do you think can end the conflict? What questions you have about the situation in the Congo? How can I share some information on what you have heard? How can we heal the women? What are the organizations on the ground helping the women on the ground to become whole? How can you be engaged in the struggle? So feel free to ask any question. You can just raise your hand and ask me any question you may have. Yes?
In the U.S., I've heard, and I don't know if I have this accurate, but it requires corporations to divulge the origin of their resources. So how much does that actually help to have that in place? And how do corporations still sidestep that? Because they know that they can get them through the entrepreneurs and communities.
So, Financial Reform Act, Dodd-Frank Act. No, last year there were 2 sections that were introduced. One was 1502 Conflict Minerals Trade Act, and the other one was the Kambale Musavuli Amendment, which is the extractive industry. So, what you're speaking specifically about is how the United States tries to put pressure on the electronic companies to disclose where they get coltan, gold, tungsten, and tin. They need to show the source of origins. It's law as like April 1st, so they have to comply and show that. He says, yeah, April 1st, that's when it came into effect. Yeah, it was signed last year, and April 1st of this year, it's a law. Now, every electronic company, they had to show where they get the minerals from, those 4 specific minerals. Is that a step in the right direction? Yes, it is. I believe it is. Is it sufficient to end the conflict? No. There are many steps, and I do believe that we have to have a multi-pronged approach because I share with people, the rebels fighting in the Congo, they're not fighting for the minerals. They are fighting for a political problem. So if they're not accessing these minerals, right, you know what they're going to make money on? Roadblocks, water, fish, timber. So are we going to start having conflict timber, conflict fish, conflict, So it means that we haven't dealt with the political problem in the country. What is the political problem? There are 2 nations, one and Uganda supported, who are playing a negative role within the Congo. So if the people within the Congo are not empowered to really change the country, we will only adjust the center. And that's what I was kind of sharing when I spoke about the center. Yes, it's good to start that, but there are still many challenges that are faced. But you know about that, but you don't know about the extractive industry, 1504. That required extractive industry, which means mining companies to show what payment they make to foreign governments. Many people don't know that this is law too. And we believe it's not the electronic companies, it's the mining companies. Because Apple doesn't have a mine in the Congo. We know the name of the mining companies that are there. So it's like BP. This is a great analogy. So we know what BP did in the Gulf with the situation that happened with the spill. Then, because of the spill, we go to Ford and say, we want you to change your tank so that our tank will not have oil from BP in there. Well, Ford can change that and become hybrid cars so nobody buy that. But nobody has held BP accountable, and BP is an extractive industry company that did something directly. So that's the disconnect. Though I understand the spirit of the activists, but I see the disconnect that we are going to the electronic companies that are 5 steps down the supply chain, rather than the extractive industry that is directly on the ground. And that's the balance that needs to exist, but you still have to address the political problem that's within the country. Any more questions? Don't be shy. Specific asks. The people in the region believe that peace will come in the Congo through a few items. One of them, there needs to be a dialogue within Rwanda. There needs to be an inter-Rwanda dialogue between the Hutus and Tutsi. The second thing they're calling for is they need a political space in Uganda. We have a president in Uganda that's been power since 1986 with the full backing of the US. Within the Congo, they're calling for holding corporations accountable for the actions they are doing there. The fourth one, they are calling for support of the election. There is a presidential election this November 27, 2011. And the last one, they're calling for the support of the UN mapping exercise. They believe that if we use that as a tool to deliver justice, that's going to have some impact, because the reason that it's continuing is no one is being held accountable. So that's the framework in which the civil society is speaking about. Now, what can we do here? We have tools that we can use. One, I shared that the President of the United States is very knowledgeable on the situation in the Congo, because as a freshman in the Senate,